Central Liner Realty, we believe it's all about you. If it's time to sell your home, don't go it alone. Put the team here at Central Liner Realty to work for you. Go to centrallinerrealty.com and let's get started.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning and welcome to Heart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. I'm your host, Christine Patterson, bringing you all the exciting Mooresville events and happenings. And please welcome our guest co-host, Mr. Sean Owens.
Hey, good morning.
And Miss Alyssa Anderson.
Good morning, everyone.
Our experience and engagement team members that make all the magic happen in downtown, all the great events that everyone loves coming out to. Thank you for being here. And we have a special guest this morning. Joining us again, Chief Ron Campurciani, Mooresville Police Chief.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're always so level. I love it. Yeah, I guess that's what you want at the person in charge, right? That level-headed. Well, we are going to get into all things Chief Campurciani, but before we do, we like to keep our listeners informed with In the News. Okay, I got a couple stories. I love the music. I feel like I'm reporting live from Mooresville. So this is such a heartwarming story that I wanted to share. It's about the ISS schools. So obviously we had some weather recently, which we'll actually talk about some more. Pretty significant weather for us that we haven't seen. And I think they said since like 2004, we got like 11 inches in some areas, 12 in some areas. But Mooresville, I think, got like about 10 or 11. And the ISS schools, nutrition staff, and volunteers, other school employees actually worked together last week at NB Mills Elementary School to provide free lunches for ISS students while the schools were closed.
Oh, wow.
How amazing
That's
is that?
awesome.
It's so great that they did that. The school's nutrition manager was there. I mean, you're talking management staff was there. Other employees from across the district. They got there at 6:30 a.m.
Wow.
They started cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, baked beans, some other sides. I mean, they did it up. They made a whole meal, a whole lunch. Families, students got to come. They picked up their boxes. Staff were outside to greet them. But they said that the waiver, actually, the USDA waiver, actually allows the system to provide free meals, regardless of income, of course, during those times of inclement weather. And so they took advantage of that, waiver to be able to do that. And, one of the nutrition directors, Angela Helm, said that, a lot of these kids depend on these meals.
Yeah.
And, you're not prepared for this inclement weather. You may, not everyone got to go to the grocery store. And so, the kids are at home cooped up and maybe they don't have access to lunches that they normally did. So what a great thing that that they offered, during that time. And they said 394 meals were served in 2 hours.
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
I know.
I
Pretty
love
cool.
that.
Yeah, so I love that. Thank you to our ISS staff for doing that for the
Very
kids.
nicely done.
Yeah. Another story, I love our Special Olympics team here in Iredell County. We have a great organization, a great local, chapter of Special Olympics, and they're doing their annual Polar Plunge fundraiser. So it's actually happening this Saturday on Valentine's Day, February 14th. It's a partnership with the Statesville Recreation and Economic Vitality Department, and they're going to host this annual Polar Plunge at the Statesville Leisure Pool, which is at 1877 Simonton Road in Statesville. And it's just a fun way to fundraise for them, to raise awareness for Special Olympics. The athletes actually train and compete in 16 Olympic-style sports at the local, regional, and state levels throughout 2026. So this is a way to raise funds for them to support those athletes so that they can participate in those competitions. And the event will kick off with registration, which begins this Saturday at 10 a.m. Participants are encouraged to dress in costume because there is going to be a costume contest with prizes, because that's very important for the top 3 entries. They're cheerleading. They have a Special Olympics cheerleading squad. That's going to be there to make sure everyone's energized as they brave the cold. There's also a way that younger children can participate. There's a Pee-wee plunge. So that's going to start at 11 a.m. and then the main event will start immediately following that. But you can register in advance or go register on site the day of the event. They're going to be selling T-shirts and merch, and there's one that's so cute. It's called Too Chicken to Plunge.
That's for me.
Me too.
Yep.
I would definitely be too chicken to plunge.
Have you guys never done a polar plunge before?
I've never done one.
No.
It's like a thing. I'm from New York on the island. Like New Year's Day, it's a thing. People go in the ocean. So I have
Really?
absolutely partaken in
Have
that.
you done one? Okay. So it's a thing.
It is.
It sounds like a crazy thing.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's invigorating.
You can't do them anymore. Get too cold.
Yeah.
I know it's so cold already. But their fundraising goal is $35,000, which is about 1/3 of their annual budget. And again, the funds raised will support the athlete uniforms and sports equipment, their meals, housing, transportation, and other essential expenses that they'll have throughout the year as they participate in the competitions. There is never a fee charged to the Special Olympics participants at any level. So, this goes to support, them being able to participate in these all year. But if you are interested, if you want to register, donate, or, just partner in any way, you can go to give.specialolympicsnc.com/2026 Iredell Plunge. So, yeah, sounds
Very
like
cool.
a cool event
Yeah.
this Saturday.
Great way to start off your Valentine's Day.
I know. I love it. And then the last story that I wanted to highlight was we have a new business opening that opened, I guess, in Mooresville already.
Oh, wow.
It's called Michelangelo's. It is a upscale luxury brand watch store. And they sell Rolex.
Oh,
Yeah. Cartier,
Yeah.
Omega. A lot of those brands you have to drive right now to like Charlotte to be able to purchase brands like that. And so, what a great thing to have this now in Mooresville. Sometimes there's wait list, for jewelers that for some of those, coveted timepieces, but not anymore. You can go to Michelangelo's Luxury Watches and Timepieces. It's at 631 Brawley School Road. It is in the vacant space it was vacant. Now it's not, but next to Caruso. So it's kind of right over there near Publix. But Michael, now I am not Italian. Alyssa, you are. How do you pronounce this last name?
This is a hard one. I don't know.
Scialaba?
Yulaba.
Now, Chief, you are too. Is it Scialaba?
Yep.
Okay, I got it right. Scialaba. So Michael Scialaba, owner, he rented the space back in August 2025 and actually renovated it. I want to just go see. It's got
I
gold
know.
accents and marble.
Or
and-
actually, it's probably Chalaba.
Really? Chalaba?
Because the CI in Italian is pronounced
It's like a
CH.
CH. Yeah.
Okay, Chalaba. Okay. So Michael Chalaba. I got to learn my Italian,
Yeah.
But now, although the shop specializes in high-end models, they want everyone to know that they also carry watches that range from $50 to $500,000, which to me is crazy. I would never spend $500,000 on a watch. But they do have, other less expensive brands. They also carry vintage watches. And I thought this was cool. They carry watches that are actually built by a fellow veteran here in Mooresville.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the owner, Michael, said that a man approached him with a gorgeously modified Seiko watch that he made in his garage. And, he makes those for a living. And he said that he kind of set aside a couple watch trays so that at no charge so that he could sell those watches. So there's some local made items in there too. They even have purses for the ladies, Chanel, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So lots of high-end items at the store. So they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6. And you can find them on Instagram at Michelangelo's Watches.
Very nice.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Chief Campurciani. We'll be right back on Heart Mooresville.
You're listening to Heart Mooresville, celebrating the events, arts, and people that make our town shine. Back after this, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Boy, talk about a much-needed warm-up. Partly cloudy, good opportunity to make it up to around 70 for our Tuesday afternoon around the lake. The overnight hours will be chilly. We'll dip back down into the 30s, but upper 60s for Wednesday, and we stay dry until the weekend. That's your forecast. From the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen, I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
Valentine's Day weekend is here, and love is officially in the air. Here is your WSIC community calendar.
First up, If your idea of romance includes a little mystery,
The Murder Mystery Dinner, featuring Sigmund Theatrical, takes place February 13th and 14th at 7 p.m.
set inside a museum filled with priceless artifacts and marble halls, this fully interactive experience turns guests into detectives when a body is discovered and secrets start unfolding.
It's elegant, suspenseful, and totally immersive. Perfect for Valentine's weekend if dinner and a show feels a little too predictable.
Get tickets and full event details at mooresvilleevents.com/OurTownStage.
Newly engaged couples, this one's for you.
The third annual My Favorite Bridal Show, hosted by Events by Victoria, happens Sunday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Kettle Room at Gibson Mills in Concord.
More than 60 wedding vendors will be on site, from florals and planners to fashion, desserts, and everything in between. And here's the pro tip. Pre-registered couples get in free. Otherwise, it's just $5 at the door.
Learn more and register at eventsbyvictorias.com.
And finally, grab your besties, because Galentine's plans are officially set in Davidson.
Ella Blue, now open at 221 Griffith Street, is hosting a Galentine's shopping event on Friday, February 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's the perfect excuse to support local, treat yourself, and maybe leave with a few bags you didn't plan on buying. For even more Valentine's events, local happenings, and community news,
visit liveworkplaylkn.com.
helping you plan ahead for love, laughter, and a great weekend.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
You're listening to Heart Mooresville, connecting the people, the places, and the events that make our town special. Only on WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, welcome back to Heart Mooresville here on WSIC News. We've got Chief Campurciani in the studio with us today. Welcome back, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, so just as a recap, in case people weren't listening the last time that you came on, give us. Oh, I know,
Really?
I know, right? No, I assume everyone is listening, right? Give us a quick recap on how you ended up in Mooresville.
Yeah. So back in 2019, I think there was a whole department investigation going on. Some stuff caused by the chief, whatever. So there was a big investigation on it. Everybody in the department apparently was involved in this, questioning people, whatever. I think the plan was when they got to the chief, was to put him on leave. So I think, I don't know this for sure, but just by the way things played out, I think they had gone to a headhunter firm or were looking to bring somebody in from the outside for a period of time. Once they were going to start questioning the chief, I think once they questioned him, they're going to put him on leave. That's my guess. And then, unfortunately, during that time, Jordan Sheldon gets shot and killed. Yeah. And so I think it ramped things up. So I'd gotten a call from a friend and who knew about this, and apparently they had reached out to this to the IACP, I believe, and said, hey, Mooresville's looking for us to give them a short list of like 4 or 5 names. Somebody can come down there for 6 months, do what needs to be done, whatever. I said, okay, throw my name in the list. So we did a quick phone interview on a Friday. Said, okay, when can you start? It was the early part of June. I said, well, let's shoot for July 1st. It's a Monday. He said, if I say you have somebody and when they're coming at the end of the month, they're going to say pick somebody else. So that was a Friday. Literally, the following Friday, I was on a plane to Charlotte, and then got off the plane and started that Monday. Like, it was that quick of a turnaround. And it's funny. So once that happened, so I'm trying to find stuff, right? I was looking stuff up, and I couldn't find anything on Mooresville. Like, what's the big hubbub here? I can't find. Well, I was Googling Mooresville.
Right.
And so when we got here, my wife and kids came down with me, and my wife said, "Where are we going again?" I go, Listen, I don't know. I have the address. I'm going to put it in. When the car stops, get out. We're there.
You weren't even supposed to be here. It was another city.
So it was a quick turnaround, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of, came down when Mooresville was in this time of transition and, had planned on this to be temporary,
Sure.
of course. And then we were talking about last time how Mooresville kind of grew on you. Because we do have that small town, feel, although we are a city that is growing and,
yes.
And
Yes.
quickly. But I guess, how has it been kind of adjusting to, for all intents and purposes, from where you were before, a smaller town versus.
Well, it's, it's the area, right? I mean, it's the people, it's what I saw down here and the way things are done. I thought the work ethic was so much better down here. I think people were just nicer. The first day we went out to get some stuff at Publix, I ended up having like a 45-minute conversation with the woman at the deli. Like, what are we doing, right? Like, and it's funny, we were at Target buying some stuff for the apartment, and there was a lady standing in line, and they had to go get a price check for it. And I was standing back by the windows, and my wife and kids were in the line, and the lady kind of looked at me. I think she knew what we were together, and she goes, "Sorry, just a couple minutes." And I went, like, "Yeah, no worries, right?" So she came, and it took a few minutes. She got her price, and I saw when she was taking out her money that she had a Patriot sticker on her thing. So, and then she came and she was, "Sorry about the wait." I go, "Don't worry about it. You had a Patriot sticker. I would have waited forever. No big deal." So she said, "Oh, you're from the," and so she lived not too far from me. And she said, she goes, "Oh, it's great here. I've been down here for 11 years. And she goes, "It's funny." She goes, 11 years ago, I would have cared less if you were waiting in line. But now I feel like I have to apologize for it. So.
Now, do you miss anything from your old department that?
I don't miss anything from up there. And it's funny, right? So I have twin daughters, right? And it's interesting because they were coming down here right when they were going to get ready to start high school. In fact, they took them a year to get down here because they had to finish up middle school, which is ordinarily like a tough age to move,
It's a
right?
transition.
And they want no part of it. They said, "You promise you would only." Well, they want no part of going back, right? And my mama died a couple of years ago. She was 99, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, good for her. And it's funny, they had said that after Nana dies, we are never going back up there again.
Wow.
It's a pit. We have no desire to go back up there. And for them, and I think for all of us, right? You don't know what you don't know,
Right.
And it was it was. But what's interesting, and not necessarily a good thing, and you can attest to this, I don't think you could go from here and go up there.
No.
Right.
Because I think people will mow you over up there.
Yeah.
It's a different, I mean,
Yeah.
they play with knives, right? Like, it's different up there. It's just very edgy, very, everybody's on,
Right.
you say hi to somebody, they say, "What the hell's wrong with you? What are you saying hi to me for?" Right? I mean, it's crazy,
You
right?
talking
It's
to me?
yeah, exactly. So, but coming down was
Yeah.
And in fact, my wife had come down, probably been here like a month, maybe. My kids were visiting her cousins in California. My wife would come down. Pick her up at the airport. She hops in the car. She goes, "Oh my God, you look so calm." I go, "I don't know what to tell you." Like, it's funny because Mooresville think they're falling apart, and my wife's going, "You look so calm." Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that from a lot of people that have come down here from up north. Is we definitely have something that is sought after, right? It's that
And
southern
it's funny.
way.
I use it. I give conditional offers to people. Right? We hired a couple of people the other day. We're full now, but. And I always tell them that. I go, "Listen, use me as like the litmus test, right? Like I would have, there was nothing on my, I'd never been to Charlotte. I mean, never been to North Carolina at all, except for layovers in Charlotte. Had no idea. In fact, when I first got here, I thought it was way too hot. Like, oh my God. I'd wake up and your windows have the condensation. I'm going, ugh, right? Like I don't even want to go outside. Now I get cold. Like at 60 degrees, I've got like hoodies on and stuff. It's like, it doesn't take long to acclimate it.
Yeah.
But I knew nothing about North Carolina, nothing at all.
Yeah. Well, I always love when you tell that story because it was just something that was supposed to be temporary, and we gotcha. We gotcha because we have such a great community, and no, I love it. Now, one of the things that is different from up north is the weather, of course. And we have recently experienced a little bit of an anomaly, I think, since 2004, like we said, where we got some snow. And I'm sure up north, you guys are used to that. We are not used to that down here. We're not prepared for it. We're not, the roads are crazy, and it freaks us out when we're driving on it, and especially the ice. But from the police department perspective, and I got to see a little bit of a glimpse of that this time, and it was really interesting to see how you all prepare, and respond to these, weather situations. Tell us about how you guys handled that.
Yeah,
in the
so
last
that's
few weeks.
really, that's a whole, like, there's every department, right? Like, we had these Zoom calls and make sure, we'd have briefings to make sure what the latest weather looks like, and getting everybody from streets to sanitation to, police and fire, obviously, but parks and rec, and what are we going to do, and when are we going to close, and how are we going to keep our gates open? We don't want them to freeze. There's so many little nuances that you have to go through. It really takes everybody. Finance gets involved. What, if we need things, if power goes down, what are we going to do? What if we need expenditures? It's across the board. And I think everybody does that, right? And Mooresville does a really good job with that. And I think, they do plow, right, the roads in Mooresville. And I was talking to people, and they were saying, like, Statesville and Troutman, it seemed like it didn't get plowed, and so they got stuck a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Mooresville did a really good job at getting the snow. It was funny. I was in a meeting down in Scottsdale. I couldn't get out on Saturday because my flight got canceled leaving Phoenix. So I couldn't leave till the next day. And they go, "How do they get rid of the snow down there?" I go, "We really don't." I said, They wait for like the sun to come up.
Yeah.
And they went like, "Yeah, that's pretty. How do they get rid of snow?" I go, "They wait for the sun to come
Mother
up."
Nature does it.
It melts.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny. And you mentioned, our staff did an amazing job. I live in the unincorporated limits, and so you could literally see the difference even from driving from unincorporated into, town limits of just the difference of the roads. They did an excellent
But
job.
with ice, and I think I was down here about 2 years maybe when we got an ice storm, and I'd never really dealt with ice too much. And I think the common misconception is up north, and I used to say it, and people told me, "Yeah, they don't know how to drive in the snow down there." I go, "Well, let me tell you something. I know how to
not
drive
the
in the snow.
snow.
Nobody can drive on ice."
Yeah.
And I said, and I remember that storm, the first car down the road, that's the road, right? Like,
Yeah.
we follow their
Yeah.
ruts.
Right.
And we were going, and I said the same thing. We were going to like Target or something. And my wife and I said, "Well, let's just go. I mean, this is just nothing. We'll go." I was literally driving for an hour, and I could still see my house in my rearview mirror. I go, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
So we just
Wow.
turned around. Like,
Yeah.
it's nuts. So
Yeah.
I tell people that. I go, "Don't tell me about driving in snow.
Yeah.
You can't drive on ice."
Yeah, no one can. Now, last time we talked about a lot of the new initiatives that MPD has, and we talked a lot about specifically related to technology last time. But this time I want to focus on some of the other initiatives that you all, because you do so much community outreach. You always have things going on. Of course, Officer Dave is, out there. How many events a year?
So Dave does over 600 events a year,
That's
which is crazy. And it's crazy for me. And I've said this before. We had a woman come up from Columbia, South Carolina Police Department, and she said her chief wanted her to start like an out. And so Dave's the guy, right? So she came up to talk to him, and she was talking, and how many events do you think you're going to do a year? And she goes, "Well, we're probably going to do a couple of hundred." And my chief wanted me to run the numbers by you because he thinks we're going to need like 8 people to do that.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, "Well, he does 600, and he's it. He's the lone show." So
Oh my gosh. And I think the important thing is, like, you're calculating in your head, well, there's only 365 days in a year, but
Right.
he is out at multiple events. And, I've seen this.
Yes.
He has come to Mooresville Day, and he's like, "Oh, I just got done with this event, and I'm coming here to set up for that. And then I've got to go to this after." I mean, he's out there doing
Yeah,
2-3 events a
yeah,
day.
I've said it all the time, right? I mean, I think policing is an A-type personality,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I've said, I go, "Listen, all of us could leave tomorrow. You got to keep Dave because there's no. I'd have to put 10 people in to replace him.
Yeah.
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 We'd be in that same boat. Like, I need 10,
I know.
15 people.
He's irreplaceable. He is. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking with Chief Campurciani.
You're listening to Heart Mooresville, celebrating the events, arts, and people that make our town shine. Back after this, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Boy, talk about a much needed warm up. Partly cloudy, good opportunity to make it up to around 70 for our Tuesday afternoon around the lake. The overnight hours will be chilly. We'll dip back down into the 30s, but upper 60s for Wednesday, and we stay dry until the weekend. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen. I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
Jay White here from Central Line Realty. At Central Line Realty, we believe it's all about you. If you're selling a home, buying a home, or adding doors to your rental portfolio, put the team at Central Line Realty to work for you. Go to centrallinerealty.com and let's get started.
Spotless cleaning. How can we make your day spotless? Yes, we make not just toilets spotless, but also counters, cabinets, and kitchens. We make your whole house, your whole day spotless. My grandparents taught me the details, not the things, make your home and your life luxurious. Yes, they raised me in Brazil. And that's why we will never charge you extra for baseboards. Let me help you be a diva a few hours a week. SpotlessCleaningNC.com.
When cancer changes everything, hope still matters. Cancer thriver Charlisa Harriet, also known as Coach C, the crushing chemo chick, creates faith-filled resources that comfort and uplift, including books, journals, planners, and greeting cards. Find encouragement created from lived experience at crushingchemochick.com and be sure to catch her show, The Healed Exchange with Coach C, Wednesdays from 11 to noon, right here on WSIC.
Order up. The Serve Pickleball Plus Kitchen in Cornelius is where sport and food are paired perfectly with philanthropy. Come play, dine, celebrate, and connect. No membership required. All ages welcome. Eat, play, serve it forward. Visit theservepickleball.com.
Valentine's Day isn't ordinary, and your flowers shouldn't be either. At Petal Perfections, our handcrafted designs are personal and unforgettable. Family owned and operated. Come see us at 2785 Charlotte Highway in Mooresville and get 10% off when you mention this ad. Visit petalperfections.com, where love blooms.
Feeling stressed? Can't focus? It's not just in your head, it's in your brain. Dr. Tim Royer shows you how to reset and refocus on Your Brain Matters. Thursdays at 4 on WSIC. Listen live, on air, online, or on the WSIC News app.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering how to make your money work for you instead of worrying it won't? Find out more by listening to Live in Large Radio with Mark Henry of Alloy Wealth Management, Saturday mornings at 11 and Sundays at 5 on WSIC. Local starts here.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Some good news for consumer-focused companies seeking initial public offerings. Bob's Discount Furniture and Jennifer Garner's Once Upon a Farm both went public within days of each other. Shares of Bob's climbed 3%. Shares of Once Upon a Farm jumped 17%. A range of other consumer-facing companies are expected to make the leap to the public markets this year, including Auto Repair Center, Caliber Collision, and Blackstone-backed Jersey Mike's Subs. Harley-Davidson shares are slumping after the company reported an unexpected drop in motorcycle shipments. Global deliveries fell 4% in the fourth quarter. Analysts had expected a 22% increase. And takeover talks are back underway between uniform makers UniFirst and Cintas after Cintas resubmitted a $275 a share takeover offer back in December. Discussions are at a preliminary stage. UniFirst's board is working with advisors to evaluate the renewed proposal and determine if it's in the best interest of the company and its shareholders. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Friendly reminder, don't brake when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here.
You're listening to iHeart Mooresville, connecting the people, the places, and the events that make our town special. Only on WSIC. Local starts here.
And welcome back to iHeart Mooresville here on WSIC News. We are talking with Chief Campurciani of the Mooresville Police Department. And we're talking a little bit about the community engagement, the outreach initiatives that you have, and how amazing Officer Dave is, of course. But one of the events that you all offer is Coffee with a Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, so we try to go to businesses and restaurants mostly. And we set up coffee, or they'll set it up, and Dave will put out his table, and he has a bunch of giveaways, and he's got 1,000 trinkets and stuff he gives out. And the officers show up, which is great. Officers on shift between calls, they'll show up, and we you can come and you can talk. You can ask us whatever you want to ask us, talk about things, and it's just a nicer setting, and it's not so formal, and it's just easier, and it's just nice to be engaged with people up there. You know, it works out well for us. So we just did one Saturday
Yeah.
at Target, and Target's been good, but I was shocked because we had a lot of people.
Yeah, I heard you guys
Target
had a
can
great turnout.
be kind of a hit and miss sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of people at Target, which
Yeah.
was impressive. Yeah.
And I think it's nice too that you move them to different
Mm-hmm.
locations. You can get on different sides of town, and it's a great way for people to come to ask questions and
Sure.
and engage. And then one of the other events that you all do, which I've heard really positive things about, is the MPD Citizens Academy. Now, what is is that where I train to be a police officer? What is
Yeah,
Citizens
no,
Academy?
It's
I
your
think so.
onboarding.
I think
Yeah.
some people think that, yeah. So we offer, it's Tuesday nights. It goes from 6 to 9, I believe. It's for 13 weeks. And people show up, and we give them the whole overview of the police department. We can go a little more in depth on what they do. You know, like 1 week we'll have the administration and talk about that. Then another week they'll have the K-9 officers in there, and they'll go through that. Then we have the school resource officer do it. They talk about what they do. Then we have the people in CID, the detectives. They'll talk about stuff they do. So we try to loop everybody in, and we tell them you're going to get a real, bird's eye view of what, like an in-depth behind the scenes stuff on what the police department does. And we appreciate people coming because I think that's great that they want to know. And they
Yeah.
all walk out of there going, holy cow, I can't believe what you guys do, So it really is behind the scenes. We take them through the station, we show them all the stuff we have. And I think they get a real good idea of what's going on. And yeah, it's a really good program.
I've heard for some people that have gone through in the past, I heard those same comments like, wow, I didn't realize everything that, our officers are doing and just kind of the scale of it. One of the questions that I get sometimes is, how do I get a ride along?
Yeah, I was
Is
going
that
to
a
say, is that
thing?
hands-on
It is a
stuff?
thing. It is a thing. We have a form. They can go online. They can pull up the ride-along form. They fill it out, send it in. Because we have to do a records check and all that stuff
Yeah.
because they are going to see some sensitive information. And then we'll just set them up with a time with an officer, and yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
Now, if our listeners are interested in Citizens Academy and signing up, the deadline to apply is February 28th. It is for the 2026 Police Citizens Academy. The academy runs from March 10th to June 2nd. Sessions are held on Tuesdays from 6 to 9 p.m., and you can apply at mooresvillenc.gov/MPD Citizens Academy.
And it fills up quick, so.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. And we do offer these, just so everyone knows. There's Fire Academy. There's the Town of Mooresville Citizens Academy. So there are a couple different options. But if you're specifically interested in police, we have kind of those targeted ones. So great opportunity.
Yeah. And we've looked at doing a couple a year, but it's just so labor intensive. It's very hard for us to do that because there's so many people that have to give up the time to get there at night. And so we've tried that. It just wouldn't work. So it fills up very quickly.
Sure, absolutely. And you get fed.
Yeah, we have good food, actually.
Yeah, you get dinner.
Yeah, we
So
have good
that's
dinner,
that's a
yes,
plus
yes.
too. And it's free to attend. So
Yeah, mhm.
free. Come learn about PD, what they do. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Now, some additional engagement opportunities. Those events that you all do. We've seen card seat checks, those community shred events, prescription drug take back events. Why are events like that important?
Well, a lot, the car seat, we bring it up at every board meeting. I got my little slides that I get, right? And that's always in there. And people, I think they go, oh, look at this. But that can't be emphasized enough, right? Because people don't really know car seats. And I say this, we had an accident not too long ago, a couple of months ago, where a car got hit and there was a child in the back seat and the seat wasn't strapped in and the child got injured, not seriously, but classic example. And especially in a lot of parents or grandparents, they swap these kids in and out. They don't want to nobody buys each car seat for a car usually. So they're swapping cars out and it's a hurry and it's a rush thing. And I tell everybody every single month when it comes up, let us put them in for you. Because I did it with my kids, right? I would make mistakes in a thing and my wife would pull the thing. She goes, hey, this is supposed to be tight. And I go, oops, well, sorry, right? Because it's not, you think it's easy, it really
Right.
isn't.
Oh, it is not easy to put in a car seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's something that people can come to the PD anytime.
Absolutely.
And get
Yeah,
you
I
to
mean,
put
we
in
have
them.
set times we do it, but you can drive up anytime and go, hey, can someone, yep, boom, we'll get you out there and get it. Because that's important.
Yeah.
It really is.
I've participated in it before.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it's great that you guys offer that. And then the shred events was something, I didn't really think about, but there are so many important documents that, you don't want out there because identity theft is real and it's happening. And so, you offer that kind of space for them to discard those items.
Yes, and that's usually packed. In fact, the last time we did one, we had it in the upper parking lot before of the station, and you couldn't get down Charlotte Highway. It was blocked in both directions for like miles. So we had to move it to the lower parking lot so they had more of a place to come in and turn around. It was because we get packed on that. I mean, sometimes we'll do. I don't even remember. They'll do like 3 truckloads or something. I mean, it's crazy the amounts we get that people come in.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
And then, people save stuff forever too. Later, ones later on,
Yes.
she goes, "Oh, I haven't cleaned my cellar out since 1970." It's like, holy
Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell everybody else to go home. This is going to be a while.
She needs her own truck.
Yeah. And then the prescription drug take back. I mean, that obviously important.
Yes, because people, what happens is people pass, and then there's drugs in the house. You don't want to leave stuff around, and you certainly don't want to, because unfortunately, right, somebody dies and people check the obituaries and they go in B&E houses, right, and a lot of times they're looking for drugs. So if you can get them out of the house, get them out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Old prescriptions, whatever. People, or they'll get a script for something, and then they won't finish it, and they leave it there, and then next thing you know, some kid's getting a hold of it. Listen, just bring it down and dump it in, right?
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
Absolutely. And all of these events, of course, you all, you can follow Mooresville Police Department on their social media platforms under Mooresville Police Department. You can also go to the website at mooresvillenc.gov. You can access the MPD page. I want to talk about, the website for a minute because you guys also offer services online. You can report a crime online, request a police report online now, where, we didn't have those services before. Now that can be done online. Extra duty officers. I know a lot of people, need officers maybe for an event that they're working, and you can hire.
Like stuff at the Mac Center, right?
Yes, yes. The Charles Mack Center. We have a lot of weddings that have alcohol, that have off-duty officers. But you also have a crime map. So you can get information. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think it's important. We wanted to make that available to people because people are moving to an area, right? What do you want to know? You want to know schools, and you want to know is it a bad neighborhood? Is it a good neighborhood? Well, they can pull it up and take a look at the crime and see what it looks like in the area they're moving into. So that's important, right? And that's what that's how we try to attack. That's sort of the basis of the police department in an overview, right? We have a business acumen to the way the police department runs. And pretty much that is, you come here and you for your business, you put your business here or your home or both, right? Well, that's your investment and you want a return on your investment. So what our part of that is to make it as safe as we can, right? So that's how we run the police department. That's what drives us, and which is always in our DNA and how we run the police department. So it's with that business because we understand why people come here, and it has to be safe, right? So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, there are services that you can sign up for or take advantage of online on the website. Also follow the Facebook page. There are schedules posted for these events, when the next car seat check is, community shred events, all of those things.
One thing on that, because I think it's important on the Facebook page, I want to make a point. A lot of people will send something in on Facebook and they think we're monitoring it every single day, 24 hours a day, every single minute. And they'll say something like, hey, somebody just ran down my street. And I thought, can you call? You have to
not
call us.
You gotta call.
That is not the, is not the medium.
Yes, no, that's a good point. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we got some questions from the community, and we're going to do a Questions with the Chief segment. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Heart Mooresville.
You're listening to Heart Mooresville, celebrating the events, arts, and people that make our town shine. Back after this, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Oh boy, talk about a much needed warm-up. Partly cloudy, good opportunity to make it up to around 70 for our Tuesday afternoon around the lake. The overnight hours will be chilly. We'll dip back down into the 30s, but upper 60s for Wednesday, and we stay dry until the weekend. That's your forecast. From the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen, I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
Valentine's Day weekend is here, and love is officially in the air. Here is your WSIC community calendar.
First up, if your idea of romance includes a little mystery,
The Murder Mystery Dinner, featuring Sigmund Theatrical, takes place February 13th and 14th at 7 p.m.
set inside a museum filled with priceless artifacts and marble halls, this fully interactive experience turns guests into detectives when a body is discovered and secrets start unfolding.
It's elegant, suspenseful, and totally immersive. Perfect for Valentine's weekend if dinner and a show feels a little too predictable.
Get tickets and full event details at mooresvilleevents.com/OurTownStage.
Newly engaged couples, this one's for you.
The third annual My Favorite Bridal Show, hosted by Events by Victoria, happens Sunday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Kettle Room at Gibson Mills in Concord.
More than 60 wedding vendors will be on site, from florals and planners to fashion, desserts, and everything in between. And here's the pro tip. Pre-registered couples get in free. Otherwise, it's just $5 at the door.
Learn more and register at eventsbyvictorias.com.
And finally, grab your besties, because Galentine's plans are officially set in Davidson.
Ella Blue, now open at 221 Griffith Street, is hosting a Galentine's shopping event on Friday, February 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's the perfect excuse to support local, treat yourself, and maybe leave with a few bags you didn't plan on buying. For even more Valentine's events, local happenings, and community news,
visit liveworkplaylkn.com.
helping you plan ahead for love, laughter, and a great weekend.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
You're listening to Heart Mooresville, connecting the people, the places, and the events that make our town special. Only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Heart Mooresville here on WSIC News. We're talking with Chief Campurciani of the Mooresville Police Department. Now, we have a Questions with the Chief segment. So we had some questions submitted by community members. We have questions from all ages. We've got some students. We've got some adults like submitted questions. So we're going to ask some of these. We don't have time to go through all of them, of course, but we're going to ask you some. Are you ready for Questions with the Chief?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, the first question, I thought this was a very good question. Because I think there are a lot of videos on TikTok right now where they're doing that like, oh, I don't have to show my ID, that sort of stuff. So when do you have to show your ID?
So North Carolina is not what they call a stop and ID state. So you have to have a suspicion that a crime is being committed, or in order for police to ask you your ID. Most of them are coming as a result of traffic stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a motor vehicle stop, you have to provide your license and registration, proof of insurance. You have to do that. You just, if you're just walking down the street and the police says, hey, I want an ID, you don't have to give your ID on that thing. And so, listen, there's mixed feelings on this stuff with police. You see the First Amendment auditors and things like this. I think for the most part, I mean, I know what their stick is, right? But I think for the most part, they've made an awareness that I think is good for people. I think, having people understand their rights, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, some people get offended by that. I think it's good that people know their rights, as long as they don't take it overboard and want to argue about everything, right? But as far as, if they're getting a ticket, they have to give their license, and then the only thing I will say is, you have an avenue to contest that ticket, and it's not to be arguing, because the police don't want to be standing on the side of the road where cars are whizzing by either trying to argue with you about a ticket. You have There's a avenue for that, and that's the courts, and take them to court and argue your point, and if you win, good for you, right?
Right.
But it's not to be out there. It's important that our people go home too, and they're not going to stand on the side of the road and have an argument about you with a ticket. So.
Yeah. And then another question that we got, I thought a lot of these were great questions. How do we get more police patrols in our area?
Yeah, so if they we usually get those from, there's usually a particular thing going on. Hey, there's people speeding down my street, or there's some kid that's always dragging, whatever it is, right? And we address that. And usually we'll let the district cars know, but if it's a real problem with speeding or something like that, we'll send the traffic unit out there.
Mm-hmm.
We just, we can't be everywhere. I think Mooresville has just about 25 street miles.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't be everywhere, right? But if they have a particular issue, we're not going to ignore it either. So let us know, and we'll get out there.
So just call, basically.
Call and let us know.
Call, let them know what's going on.
Yep.
And then this is one I personally would like an answer to. Is
it your question?
No.
Under a pseudonym?
Maybe. What do you do if your neighbor has a loud party or loud music and they're being loud? Can you call?
I think you need to be friends with them so you get invited to the party.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's they talk about noise ordinances all the time, and it's subjective, right? But if it's really too loud, if it's disturbing your peace, we try not to put hours on it. And some people think it's different hours, right? I mean, obviously, 3 o'clock in the morning would be a problem, but 10 o'clock could be a problem if you work nights, right? If you work the overnight, 10 o'clock in the morning is tough, right? So it's based on, if it's getting to the point where it's bothersome to you and you're missing the enjoyment of your own home, whatever that looks like, then call us, right? And listen, we try to educate people. We don't go out there with the idea of we're going to arrest people or give them citations or whatever.
Right.
Listen, your neighbor is this and this. Can you just turn it down? They've got a young child or whatever it is, right? And we try to be, now if we have to go back a couple of times, then by the second time around, it's going to be it may be an enforcement issue, but we try to educate first. So, but again, just call us, let us handle it.
Absolutely. Okay. And then I want to make sure we get a couple of the questions from the students, because I thought these were great questions. One student that is a local middle schooler wants to know, what should they do if they are being bullied online?
Well, if you're being bullied online, first of all, you got to tell your parents right away, and then have your parents call us. And we have specific juvenile detectives that deal with this issue. They're very good at it. Make the initial complaint, and then we will get somebody out there, and we'll help them. And we have the school. And if you report it and you're at school, find one of the school resource officers. We have school resource at every school. You probably know them. Pull them aside. Tell them. Tell your parents first. But if it's happening at school, let the SROs know, and then we have people specifically trained to handle that stuff. So
okay, that's great. I didn't realize you had a specific person. And then one student wants to know, what classes do they need to take in school if they want to become a police officer?
So everybody says the old mantra has been a criminal justice degree, but we found that I think a college degree is important for a lot of reasons. Because they have to be articulate, they have to be able to write, they have to be able to put stuff on paper, they have to be able to put thoughts together. So secondary education is important to that. But criminal justice is nice, but you're going to get everything you need to know. It doesn't give you really a leg up with any sort of knowledge by coming in. So any type of degree, any type of secondary education that you can get will take you. Yeah.
Okay. And I think we have time for one last question. What does a police chief do all day?
Did my daughter send this in because they already have the answer. They know that they think I do nothing. So if you ask them, they say nothing. So listen. So there's so many moving parts, and I have 3 assistant chiefs that are over different areas, and we have constantly there's things going on in their different areas that we constantly have to have discussions about and see what's happening. And then there's budget stuff, right? Where are we with the budget? What do we need for next year? What do we need for this year? Are we spending too much? Or where are the gaps? And we hire people, and what does that look like? And there's I could go on and on and on, but it's about, at the end of the day, right, it's about managing people. You try to put the right people in the right positions, give them the autonomy to do what they need to do, and support them, but let them run the show. Because if you micromanage people, first of all, it's a horrible management. It never works. And it's interesting when people micromanage people. It's not about them, it's about you. You just can't let go. You got to be able to trust the people, put them in the right place, hold them responsible, and just let them do what they got to do.
Absolutely. Well, Chief Campurciani, thank you so much for joining us today, for taking these questions. We always love it when you come in the studio. I always learn something.
Yeah.
So much.
I'm curious from the movies Police Academy. How realistic
Yeah.
is that? A real representation of real life?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what day it is. I mean, it's so. I will say this real quick. I find it interesting sometimes because sometimes it is like that. When I've always found it interesting when people say, "Ooh, I'm kind of afraid of the police." You're afraid of the police? I'll tell you what. Spend a week inside the station. I'll guarantee you'll change your viewpoint.
Absolutely. And you want to come to one of the 600 plus engagement opportunities that you offer throughout the year. But no, thank you so much. So definitely want to talk about some of the upcoming events that are happening in Mooresville. We got a lot going on. We are approaching event season.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We have weather, I know we just had some snow, so it sounds weird to say, but I feel like by the end of February, early March, like we're getting some warmer weather.
Getting there.
Yeah.
And then it'll be allergy season, so.
I know. Well, this weekend, I feel like it's really kicking off this weekend. Friday is the Sweetheart Sip and Shop, hosted by the Mooresville Downtown Commission.
Mm-hmm.
It's 6 to 8 p.m. You can enjoy a little sip of a beverage because we have a wonderful social district downtown and walk into all the wonderful businesses and boutiques that we have in downtown Mooresville. So do some shopping, maybe buy something for your significant other or colleague. You never know.
Careful with that one.
Also, we have Experience and Engagement team is hosting the Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. Dun, dun, dun. We'll have to bring the police department in to solve the crime. The crime, right? The murder. But no, Sigmund Theatrical is the theater company that we partner with this for this event every year, and they do such an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
We had to expand and offer a second night because we sold out so quickly. So now we do 2 shows, Friday and Saturday. There are still a few tickets left, not many. They're going to go fast. This sells out every year, both nights. But you can get those tickets at mooresvilleevents.com if you are interested in coming. If you don't have anything planned for, date night, this is a great date night. It's a dinner and a show. We have a wonderful menu, chicken piccata, some sides, some salad. It's the whole
dessert.
Dessert, the whole shebang. There'll be a on-site bar available as well. So it's just a fun time. So come out and join us. Also coming up is Shamrocks and Shenanigans.
Ooh.
I love it. Shenanigans in downtown Mooresville. Chief's over here rolling his eyes.
Every day is Shamrocks and Shenanigans.
Every day is the Shenanigans. No, I love it. But yeah, come out, green beer. Mooresville Downtown Commission, which their website is downtownmooresville.com. They have great packages that you can get for Shamrocks and Shenanigans. You get like a scarf if you buy tickets, and you have your green scarf, your green beer.
It's like I think they do like a mini bar crawl, right? Like you can go sip around like the places that like offer alcohol.
Yeah.
And they have fun drinks.
Yeah, they do. It's more than just beer too.
Yes.
So, yes. And then we are in the middle of our Town Stage entertainment series at the Jovi Knox Auditorium. And so after Murder Mystery, we've got some fun events coming up. We have a March and an April show. So you can check that full lineup at, again, mooresvilleevents.com. Also check out Parks and Recreation at mooresvillerecreation.org. They have tons of opportunities in March and February even. Summer Camp Lottery opens February 16th. So make sure to, mark your calendar for that deadline. But stay tuned. We'll be back next week on Tuesday. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week on I Heart Mooresville.
Great radio doesn't end here. Catch the full episode and dive or into our archives on the WSIC News app.
WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM, Statesville, Lake Norman's home for local talk radio. WSIC, local starts here.